Johnny from Crosscast over here, and I'm joined with a very special guest, Nikki Pettel.
Shalom.
It's part of the Alliyah.
Yeah, exactly.
So we wanted to conduct it in Hebrew or English. What do we do there?
Up to you.
Up to you. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go on with the English, but
Sure.
we'll throw some names dropping. Let's see if you got it.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You just did recently Alliyah, not that
Yes.
far ago.
Yeah.
How was it getting
was-
to Israel?
It was good. I'm really excited. It's super fun to be with, around a lot of family and just the community and the people here. I feel totally at home. Even though I just got here in February, but I feel at home.
And you told me already that the most common comments are no, from the US to Israel, no, it should be backwards, from Israel to the US. That's how we do it.
I'm pretty sure everyone's like, what? Why are you in Israel? Santa Cruz is amazing. Go home. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Santa Cruz is really like a dream.
Yeah, I don't know. I think once you've been anywhere for 25 years, coming to somewhere new is just a whole new experience. I don't know if I love it so much because it's still new. It's I'm not really vacationing, I'm working, but
Yeah.
but I really made a solid friend group at TLV. People here at White City. I even have some friends at Crossfit La Vie. I don't know. It's just a totally different feel. I don't know how to explain it, but right now I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm happy. It's a good commercial
I'm
from
training
Israel.
hard.
Oh yeah. Now, when you first came here, that was the plan to come and do Aliyah, because you told me you have some family
No.
around here.
No, I came totally just to visit for 6 months. I was gonna come, travel around, stay in Israel a little bit, and then I started training. I don't know how to explain. I really just connected to everyone here, and I started thinking about, well, what if I stayed, and so I started looking into dual citizenship, because my parents are actually from here. They moved after the tzava to go study in the U.S. And then they ended up staying there. But so I started looking into that, and then I started looking into school options here, because I finished my bachelor's, but I want to continue my education. So far I haven't gone back to school. But I'm thinking of physical therapy. It's just a little bit different here and in the US, the way it's set up. So I'm looking into my options. But for right now, I'm taking a year to get settled, and then we'll see what happens. And also to make it to regionals, and then
we'll see what happens. And maybe we'll prove. And
I'm an athlete first, a student second.
Yeah. Okay. Now
I'm just for right now. I finished my bachelor's, so I can say that.
So you came here, and you started. It was after 1 year of CrossFit. And
almost a little less.
Yeah, and it started the Open, and you did with TLV, and things progressed, and then suddenly you're in the RFA.
Yeah.
That was your first CrossFit competition?
No, actually, I did kind of the Affiliate Cup that we just had. We had one in Santa Cruz in October, and that was my first real CrossFit. Real. It was still team, but it was my first introduction to competing, so it was fun.
Now, I had
But the RFA was my first competition as an individual.
As an individual,
for CrossFit.
Okay. Now, me and my wife, we like to do a little bit bets, and so she likes to gamble a lot. So when the RFA came, she told me, let's bet. I said, what do you want to bet on? She said, I don't know. Who do you think is going to win? So I said, I need to pick someone that she wouldn't pick. I'm going with Nikki. And she's like, whoo! She didn't really know you. Not a lot of people knew.
Not a lot of people knew me yet.
Yeah.
I think still not a lot of people know me yet, but we'll change that.
We'll change it. So you came and you thought you looked at it and you said how do you, you came from Santa Cruz, which is, let's say it's California. It's the west side. It's the origins of CrossFit, you can say. You looked in Israel and you say those guys, the level is good, not that good. are going to kick their ass? What are you? What do you?
No,
What
I
do you
didn't think that. I knew I would definitely be really hard. I mean, I'm not even at the level of some of the people in Santa Cruz. There's definitely people better than me, but that's also because they've been doing CrossFit since, 2007.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the girls that I used to train with at CrossFit Santa Cruz especially were like, they pushed me in ways that I couldn't have, imagined.
Yeah.
Strength and cardio wise. So it's different here in Israel, but I think there's definitely some competitors that are at that level.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the regionals, I think like you see it improving each year just because I've watched, but I think just because Santa Cruz it's like the origin.
Yeah.
And it's like the way people live there. It's a little bit, I don't know. The classes is about the same, but I think there's a lot more competitors like that are just there just because for how long they've done it. They're really good at it.
Now basically your background is gymnastics and powerlifting?
I did gymnastics for about 10 years. I stopped actually when I was 13, so I was still pretty young. And then from there I did water polo.
Wow.
And then I did water polo until the end of college. And then I did powerlifting and now CrossFit.
Wow, so you have a very good background, you have the gymnastics, then you have a little bit of endurance from the water polo, and it's very strong. It's a very strong sport. And powerlifting, it sounds like you got everything, so...
Water polo I feel like is more of a strength. Swimming would be more like endurance. It would be like comparing soccer and track and field.
It's very violent sport, water polo, right?
A little bit, but it's really fun.
I know like about the men's side, they're pushing and they're shoving each other underneath the water.
We wear suits that you have to zip up that are very, very tight, that are not easy to rip off.
Yeah. I heard some stories. That's what I'm telling.
But it was such a fun sport. I think because I remember when I was 13, I tried a bunch of different sports. I tried volleyball, I tried basketball, I tried soccer, but nothing was fun until I found water polo. Like it challenged me in a way that gymnastics did, like in a different way that gymnastics did, but still at that, like I was so used to that hard, like trying to really, it was a different style of training. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to go like run around. Not that track is easy, I don't mean to say that, but like it was a different kind of level of mentality challenging I couldn't find in other sports until I got to water polo.
Okay, now what you told me, like I'm an athlete first, then like
now, yes.
Yeah. When do you first acknowledge that? I mean,
just for this year, I feel like I've kind of put that as my goal because I really want to make it to regionals. I feel like it's totally possible this year. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I have the strength. There's definitely some pieces that I'm missing. Maybe I can obviously improve my cardio and weightlifting a lot, but I feel like if I really focus on it, I think it's possible.
And that acknowledgement came after the RFA? I mean, or before that you already knew, like, okay, I'm an athlete now?
No, I mean,
because the RFA, you won. Who didn't watch? You won the RFA, which is basically the Israeli Games for CrossFit. Yeah, Israeli CrossFit Games. So
by luck.
By luck.
I happen to be good at gymnastics.
But
I think if the final event was flipped, it would have been an interesting challenge.
Yeah, it was a bit close.
Yeah.
A bit close.
But still, it was fun.
But this winning gave you this thing that, okay, I found myself, and that this is what I'm going to do.
Actually, I knew when I started that one of my goals was to make it to regionals, whether it was as an individual or in a team. I wasn't sure yet, but I knew I wanted. I feel like I've always been competitive, and if I can set a goal and I feel like I have something that I'm striving for, it's easier for me to train towards something, not just train to train.
Yeah. I
mean, I like training to train, but it's always nice knowing
something
that you have something that you're pushing for. So, no, I knew I really knew that I wanted to do regionals before even when I made the transition to CrossFit, I was like, this could be really cool. Let's try and see if this is a possibility. And so I started working with, the coaches in Santa Cruz, and they were giving me advice because especially at CrossFit Santa Cruz, they've had teams go to regionals for the last, I think 7 years in a row.
Wow.
Which just that says something also just of if they could look at me and say, hey, you have the potential, or, if I could work with their team, it was fun to kind of see them train and see where I was in comparison to them. So
and when
that's more or less when I saw, okay, this is a possibility. And then the open, I looked at my scores in relation to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And also I compared a lot of my scores in relation to my friends in the US. And really, the one event that totally just killed me was the last one.
The 70.5?
Because I'm still not the best at double unders. Granted, I'm a lot better now, but
Okay.
That was probably the one skill, which sounds so funny. I have all the gymnastics, and then double unders is the one thing that it's kill me now. No, but still. So, yeah, because I feel like I was floating around between 20 to 30s, and for all the first four events, and then the last one, I totally just tanked and fell down. And I was like, okay, so this is something we need to work on, because so we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully,
And
I'm working on it.
Yeah, finger crossed. And when you okay, so your goals was to get to regionals, and I think initially you thought you were going there with TLV, with the team.
Yeah, that was by chance I happened.
So what happened? I mean, you thought you were going there, and then afterwards you got announced that you can't go because of some of the rules, that you need to be more in Israel in order to go with them to the team.
Yeah, there's a rule that you have to be in the area that you're competing for before January 1st. And I happened to arrive January 28th to Israel. And so they said, oh, that's not fair. You had 28 days when you weren't in the country. You can't compete. You're disqualified. But I tried not to kind of let me get. I still went. I still got to cheer them on. Kind of experience, see Madrid and see the regionals, see the competitors. But I think it pushed me even more to train harder during that period to just prepare for when I'm an individual.
Yeah.
No one can tell me I'm disqualified. Because weirdly enough, if I qualified as an individual this year or last year, I couldn't have been disqualified. But because I was going to do team, I had to be in the vicinity of Israel before January 1st.
Funny.
But now I'm here anyway, so they can't tell me I wasn't here before January 1st.
So you after that you said, okay, I'm gonna move to Israel, and
I mean, I didn't move necessarily for CrossFit. That sounds a little funny. I really moved, I think, more for the people, for my friends, and I have a ton of family here, and it's something different to have Friday night dinners every weekend with another family member, or throughout the week getting to see my great aunt and uncle. Living with my savta is the best thing in the world. You come home to kuba and ksitzot, and every morning you wake up to betzim with green onions and vegetables.
Sounds good.
I mean, every morning, but no, she loves to cook, and so it's just fun because then she'll get to teach me how to make, all these cool Iraqi foods, and it's something different. It's time with me and my grandma that you couldn't compare to anything. So
sounds really good. Sounds like a really good quality time.
Exactly. And so then, I don't know, and then I was like, you know what, what's pulling me back to Santa Cruz? I mean, obviously I have a lot of friends. I mean, not obviously, but I have friends there that I miss, and but I feel like for now, who knows? In a year, I might be I was crazy. I changed my mind, but for now, I'm really loving it.
Nice. It's good to hear that. Yeah. And things are.
I really want to make it to regionals.
Mm-hmm. You think it's close? You think it's possible? I mean, you look
it's
at.
Hard to say because I know they also changed the team to 2-2.
And also they changed the regionals. I mean, they took out the Scandinavians The Nordic,
they took out Iceland.
Yeah, they took it out and they changed it a little bit.
All
so
the daughters.
Yeah.
I should just change my name to Pettel daughter.
Pettel daughter.
Oh, that would be weird. Well, maybe if I change it, it will give me better chances.
Better double on this.
Yeah.
Better double on this.
No. It's hard to say. All I can say is I'm going to give it 110% until I get there. And then once I get there, if I don't make it, I'll have the option of team, hopefully, with, but if not, then I'll prepare again for next year. School, training, it'll be fun.
Sounds good. And your expectation for RFA, you're gonna take it again?
I'm definitely going to fight to get first again, but you never know. Gaia Tzur and Natalie and Sharon, they're very good competitors. And there's Zomer Tzuri in the back. There's a lot of people that have potential, and everyone's improving, alongside with me. So it's hard to say, but I will definitely try.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, different topic. Let's say if you had to choose one person, even a CrossFitter, to sit down and have a small chat or a cheat meal, I should say. Who would you pick? Who was your favorite?
From Israel?
It doesn't have to be from Israel.
Just to sit down and talk to?
Talk and eat with, and I don't know.
One person? How could you pick one person? I feel like every Friday or once a week I try and get together with somebody. Once a week I text Natalie and Sasha, hey, what are you doing? Are we training this week? Once a week I have David and Omer. And then I have Avi and Sharon. I have Neta. Gaia Tzur.
Nice.
I like to make my rounds.
That's
no,
nice.
But it's really fun to get together and train, eat, whatever, but with people that are going to push you to go a little bit harder in your workouts.
Nice.
So it's fun.
And if you could give one advice to our listeners, what would be your advice or tip?
Advice in CrossFit or in life?
You did a lot, so you made Alliyah, you did some things in life. You can teach us maybe something.
I don't know. In CrossFit, I think it's people always, they ask about gymnastics, and it sounds funny, but I work a lot on the smaller, just fine-tuning all the movement. It's not always the fun muscle-ups that I just get to try max sets. It's holds, I'm holding my dip, I'm holding my static, support hold, I'm holding a handstand against the wall. It's the boring little things that you do that when you, in the end, go to do your workout with it, it's a lot smoother and things like that. Because people always think there's some golden nugget of how did you get so good? It's no, I didn't. I put in the hours and I'm training, and so I don't know, that's not really that's more of just there's always little things that add up to give you, the bigger skill. And then in life, clearly I live on edge. 1 month here, the next month there. You never know. I'm trying to live life to the fullest and, not kind of explore my options and see what's there.
Live it day by day.
Yeah. Yeah. Learn from others, I don't know. Embrace everything. But yeah, who knows? I don't know if I have good advice.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, Nikki, thank you very much for doing this episode.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was very fun, I must say.
Yeah.
Crosscast, another episode. Time!